So you want to change the operating system on your phone. You don't want to use custom ROM. You don't want to use ADB. You don't want to do anything that might muck it up. Well, your next option is use an emulator. So this one here, Limbo times 86. Under here, now how you want to set this one up. My advice, it's not worth using this unless you have a high-end device. Initially this one here I'm showing you it on, it's an Alcatel S1 or 1S. I think there is one. It's 3 GB of RAM, but therein lies the problem. You really need a phone that has minimum 8 GB RAM. If you've got a phone with 16 GB RAM, you're going to be fine. Basically what you want to do is half it. So whatever your RAM is, you half it and give it to the emulator. Okay, and of course most light operating systems, you want to have at least 4 GB of RAM to run them. So, and not only that, some phones, they might tell you they've got 3 GB, but you'll find that it's only got 2 GB and 1 GB might be a virtual RAM. But it's not all of them. But anyway, let's get into here and how to set it up. First thing you want to do is actually go into your SD card, have this all set up so everything goes to the SD card. If you haven't, that's fine, put it in your phone. But in your, for where you want to put your operating systems, of course, what you want to do is just make yourself up a file. So you go into your file manager, and what you want to do is go down here and create yourself a file. So I've made one called operating systems, and then dump all your operating systems that you want to put on your phone in there. I mean, you're not going to need that many. It's just I've been doing a trial run to find out which ones, the light ones seem to be better. Initially, even if you have got a high-end device, if you've got an ultra-high-end device, it's not going to matter. You can install any operating system, Windows or Linux, whatever you want to do. And again, Ubuntu you won't have any trouble with. But if you're needing something a bit more light-end, and my advice is to use a lighter-end one, even if you have a good phone. Alpine, that's your more command line stuff. So you got your Debian here, you got Ubuntu, you got Phoenix, and you got Ubuntu down the bottom. So you got Lubuntu and you got Ubuntu. Prime OS is another one. It's actually not. No, it's not in here. Okay, so Prime OS is another one you can use. Now you are going to have an ISO file. Okay, so that's your first thing you want to do. Just make sure you got a separate file, operating system, so you know everything's all in there. Alright, so we'll go back out of there. We're going back across. We're going to our... Right, now let's create a machine. Now you can either hit the none, or you can go up here and you can say create machine. Okay, but we'll just go here and we're going to go new machine. Okay, call it what you want to call it. I'm just going to call it PC. Yeah. Okay, now here, if you are online, you got no problems with data issues and things, you can actually get one of their ones out of here, like download it and do it through here. If you are the Calibri OS, that's a good lightweight one. And of course the Debian, which I've already got Debian on here anyway. So here we just want to go other, if you have already got your own operating system, or here, if you've got your own ISO. Okay, so we've got our own ISO we're going to put in. Alright, user interface, I'm going to leave that all fine. Now here, this is where you're going to run into issues. If you don't set this right, you'll get errors that won't boot up. Main errors people will have is actually from your RAM. Okay, that's why I say it's important you've got to have a high-end device. Now to set this up, from not knowing anything, if you don't know much about anything, just go to default. Same with your next one. Oh, the CPU model. Are you kidding me? Go into default. Now, as I say, RAM, depending on your phone, is going to depend on what you're going to be able to do. Now this one here's got 3 GB of RAM, so let's just go off the fact that it's all legit RAM and none of it is virtual. I don't know, I haven't actually looked into the settings of this yet to find out, but let's just go off that. Where are we? So we go here. Oh, 1400. No. I want to actually try and see even though it's a 3GB. I should only be giving it 1500, but I just want to see if we can actually give it 2GB of RAM. Well, sort of. Might just go here. Right. Now, notice the CPU cores. I'll show you what way. I mean, there's nothing to be worried about. If you do sleep more, okay, it's going to give you a wee warning. You'll see here, setting multiple virtual CPUs will not result in additional performance unless you use KVM or MTDCG. Your device might even be slow. So my advice is to actually use KVM or MTDCG if you can. Make sure you set it up right, and then you can add more CPUs, of course, because there's another thing. There's no use having lots of RAM and bottlenecking the CPU. So, and then it's no use having lots of CPUs if you haven't got the RAM to run it. So we're going to be fine with which one, because we've only got 2GB of we've only got 2GB of RAM anyway. So, you know, if we were to put 2 cores, it's going to split that into 1GB. Now, if you've only got 1GB, well, it'd split it into 500 megabyte. You can have a really shitty experience. Right. So close that one back down. Go into your disks. We want to create a disk. Okay, so we want to go new, and the image name. So we're going to call this PC. 1GB and growable. I might just make that 2GB. You got to remember too, there is some operating systems out there that they will not install unless they have a minimum sized hard drive. So there's some that you're going to have to make sure you have got the exact amount of RAM. I mean, the exact amount of storage space for it to actually install. Otherwise, you'll get a different lot of errors as things happening. Right, now here, CD-ROM. This is where you want to put your ISO image. Okay. Now, just the image file is not going to work here. We've got to go down to ISO. Okay, so we've got our ISO images there. Let's see. Should we go Phoenix? Yeah, bugger it. Let's put on Phoenix. Okay. And boot. Of course, same thing. But here you want to tell it to boot from the CD-ROM, because that's where we've got the image. Once you've installed it to your hard drive, that's where you come back in here and you make sure you reset that to boot from the hard drive. Okay, if you don't do that, every time you boot up, it's going to keep doing the do you want to install the hard drive bloody rubbish. Remember, when you do this, you've already done it. So here you want to tick hard disk, and then it's not going to matter about this removable drive anymore and that image file. Okay, you can take that off your phone, get some memory space back, but for the start you need this. Alright, so we're going to close that. Graphics, keep it standard. Audio, just pick that and go down to all, down the bottom, all. Okay, close that off. Network, you don't have to put that on there, but I mean, I'll do it here just for demonstration. But okay, use it. Okay, yes, blah blah blah, none of that. Alrighty, so now we're going to try it. Now, if you get any errors, believe me, it'll be your RAM. Okay, your phone won't be able to handle it. Alright, see how we go here. Alright, so she's booting up. It's loading the image. And there we go. Okay, now the other thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't already installed a keyboard, now to activate your keyboard, press the back button once. You'll see up there's the keyboard. Okay, and there's your mouse to set touch screen or whichever one. Now, actually this is the wrong keyboard, right? So initially what you want to do is have Kika keyboard or another keyboard that will actually give you an option to go into another menu and you actually get the arrow keys, okay? Because you are going to need to, go up and down and make your selection of what you want to do if you're doing installs, and then tell it where you want it to install to, etc. So you do need the arrow keys. Other than that, your other option, put your OTG cable in and put in yourself a wireless keyboard, which that's what we're going to do on this one. Alright, so just plug that in. and that's your keyboard. Now the keyboard's activated. Alright, now if you haven't got that and you have got a keyboard with arrow keys and that, and you are wanting to know how to activate, excuse me, why is it going like that? If you're wanting to activate the mouse, you just click on the mouse there, and then you can pick which one. Initially, if you've picked one, you're going to have to do a reboot. Okay, reboot the device afterwards. You see here, so this is all installing, detecting Phoenix OS. I'm actually amazed it's accepted the 2 GB considering this phone's only a 3 GB phone. But excuse the blurriness every now and again. Stupid things. Alright, so this is going to do its thing. So you just go through the process. As I say, you do want a high-end device, otherwise it's going to be very slow. You'll soon know if it's a RAM issue. If you get your color screens loading up, you know, as it's going through the install menu, and you notice that when it loads the screen, it does it like this in blocks, like that Caterpillar game, and you can actually see each line loading. It's a RAM issue. Okay, it means your RAM is too small. So if it's doing that, it's really a waste of time, because your whole experience of using it is just going to be, you know, a complete shit experience. It'll be slow even using it. All right, see there, so we've got install Phoenix OS to a hard disk or without installation. So we're going to go hard disk. You see here, even it's taken a while with this phone, but as I say, we've only given it 2 GB. At minimum, you want at least 4 GB. You know, for even the for the low ends of the operating systems, 8 GB is better. But as I say, then you've got the CPU and all that as well. So, you know, it's no use having one big, massive lot of RAM if your CPU can't process it. Otherwise, you're just bottlenecking the CPU and you're going to have glitches. Alright, so you see here it's loading. I'm just going to pause this for a minute, show you the next bit. I'm not going to carry on with it because for me it's just not worth it. I will show you another way. If you are dead set on trying to have a computer system and you don't have a high-end device, I will show you another option just here in a second. And of course, too, you might be thinking, oh, what's the point of even having it if you've got a little tiny screen like this? Well, it's just the normal case of just flipping you. Yeah, then you got your full screen. Okay, so then it's going to be more like your PC. So you can set it up like that. Have your keyboard here, and then you're away. Okay. And of course, you can actually install Android TV on your phone using the same method. I'm going to show you how to install something else at a later date on this as well. Right, so you get the gist of it anyway. So that's all going to load up. As I say, if you've got a low-end device, it's not going to happen very fast for you. Alright, so I'm just going to exit out of here anyway. I'm just going to show you another thing. So, initially, if you don't have a high-end device and you are still wanting to do something a little bit different without stuffing with your actual main phone settings, your best option, and someone, you know, if you're into hacking things as well, okay, what you want to do is get yourself Termux, okay, and then get NetHunter, and that, you know, that way you've actually got a terminal within your phone. You can run commands. You know, I'll just show you for it hasn't been loaded up yet, so I'm just quickly showing you. Okay, so the first thing you want to do here, okay, is PKG update. Now I'm not actually online, so this isn't going to work, but of course you'll see the other commands you want, okay? After you do update, you want to do upgrade, or you can go, actually we'll see, maybe it'll work. go and PKG upgrade, but yeah, I don't think it's what is actually looking at. I'm not on the internet, am I? No. So of course that's not going to actually it's not going to be able to do anything because it can't get online. Let's put it online. Yeah, no. So, but anyway, the other commands that you want to use, so it's pretty straightforward. Alright, and then of course here you do want to install this and this as well, and then of course you could put in well actually if you know what you're doing, you know how to use this. Alright, I won't get into other commands you should be using, what you can put in, but if you know Linux environments pretty well enough, you're going to be alright with this. Okay, but anyway, you can install NetHunter. You can also install Kali Linux into your phone. If you've got your phone rooted, you can do a hard install. If you haven't got it rooted, you can just have it with your normal phone. Okay, I won't get into the installation of that. There's some guys out on YouTube there. Look up David Bombal. And the other one you want to look at is, God, what's his name? Hacker Lloyd. Okay, so the other two names, I hope they don't mind that I've given them you fellas to go there, but that's it. My advice is go look at their videos on how to install NetHunter, how to install NetHunter Kicks. Well, that's not actually install it, you know, how you run it, etc. But anyway, watch their videos because they'll show you good installation way of NetHunter and also how to install Kali Linux. I won't get into it, but that's a good thing, especially if you're on a bit of a lower end device that your emulator here is not going to work. Okay, you'll see there, look, it's still loading. As I say, I've only got 3GB of RAM. It's not usable with that. Okay. Anyway, so that's how you go about it. Yes, we can put operating systems on our phones, but they've got to be a bit more, they do have to be a bit more, what do you call it, high-end devices, okay? So as I say, if you haven't got a real high-end device, this is your next spec. Install Termux and put in NetHunter. And of course, I mean, even in Termux, you know, you can put in Wi-Fi and things, you can put in different. As I say, if you know about Linux environments, you're going to know what to do once you get in here. I won't get into it. You'll find the stuff you need. But enjoy. Hopefully it's helped you do something different with your phone. And if you're into doing that now, to close that off, if it doesn't actually close on, you just scroll down from the top and you'll see Termux. Alright, so you want to... Oh, God. Right, Termux, go to the wee arrow key, and then we want to go exit. Okay, that's it, shuts it off. Okay, for the actual one, the emulator, we're just going to go in and shut that off normally. Alright, so you go about it. Enjoy.